What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Nug Smasher channel. And yes, I'm Ryan here at the Nug Smasher factory, where all the Nug Smasher parts and pieces and machines are designed, made, put together, serviced, and shipped, all from right here. I want to go over and talk to some of our main guy on our that runs the Nug Smasher assembly line for the IQ and Sifters, show you that product a little bit, and then I want to walk you guys through the factory and show you how the parts and pieces are made for the Nug Smashers and what's happening here at the factory. So join me. Scott, we're doing a video for our Nug Smasher customers and channel. So guys, I want to introduce you to Scott. He runs the Nug Smasher IQ line. So these are all of our IQ machines and the parts and pieces, how they go together, the assembly line for that. The XP assembly line and the mini assembly line are over on that side over there. And then also Scott does all the sifters. This is a sifter machine. If you haven't had a first-hand looked at one, this is one of the ones that's being shipped today or being packaged today. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And you make what? How many IQs do you make on this line a day?
Probably 4 to 5 in a day.
4 to 5 in a day. And then how many sifters do you do approximately?
We could probably get about 3.
3 of them out?
Yeah.
Okay. So the sifters come with different micron screens for the drums, do they not? How many different micron screens do they come
90, 120, and 160.
Okay, so when you buy a sifter, you do get 3 sets of micron screens. And once again, it was 90,
120, and 160.
160 for the sifter. The key to the sifter is the hex drum and how the material slides up the side of the hex and then actually gently falls to sift the trichomes off the material. So really good machine. We have literally thousands and thousands of these sold. Customers love them. And we have some customers that run dozens of these 24 hours a day, all day long. And then if you step down to our, this is a finished Nug Smasher IQ. So yeah, turn it on for our customers. So Nug Smasher IQ, every part and piece of this IQ is made right here under the roof in the factory. You start to see kind of the one where we started the video where Scott was putting the parts and pieces together over there and all the electronics. All the electronics are put together and the wiring harness is done here. The circuitry is all designed here. Our embedded system engineers, Daniel and Zach, they designed the app that works with this machine and controls this machine, as well as all the touchscreen peripherals. The app has the terp files on it, so when you're loaded in there, you obviously have all your recipes and the whole nine, so you can duplicate that. The machine is known for absolute quality in terms of heat and pressure and applying the exact amount that you need on the surface area that you need. So you program the surface area in there and tell it how much PSI you want on that specific surface area, and you can repeat that every time. So you can do 3 grams of ice water hash or 3 grams of flour, all the way up to 28 grams of flour or 120 grams of ice water hash on there. You can manually operate the machine, but most of the operation on the machine is automatic. Now, Scott, how many different settings do they have on the machine here?
We have 5. We got flour, hash, isolate, decarb, and the cart.
Yep. And you can even make carts on this machine with our decarboxylation capsules that are made here in the factory. I think it'd be beneficial for the customers to walk through the factory. Yep. It's lunchtime here, so it's a good time to walk through. There's not a lot of people nice everywhere. Quiet. Yes, nice and quiet. We'll start and I'll walk you through the factory and I'll show you how the parts and pieces of the Nug Smashers are actually made. And when you call in, this is the area up here. Sarah and her team are the ones that actually field the calls or the chats to help you right here on the factory floor. So the communication is direct from you, from them from you to our customer service representatives, right to Scott and his team on the assembly line. And you turn the sifter on there. I didn't even see that.
Yep.
Yep. You can kind of see the sifter there running. There's multiple speeds, variable speeds you can set it to. The sifter, like I said, that drum is very unique because the material slides up the drum. So we could slow the speed way down, which most people like to do if you're doing real high quality stuff. The material slides up the side of the drum and then falls on a flat surface every time. That's why we designed this hex drum, and it's you know, it's very hard to manufacture and machine these sides of the sifters and all the machine pieces in them. But we do it that way because of the quality that you get out of the sift. Also, the whole inside is stainless steel. It's a food grade stainless steel with the removable tray here. All of that is food grade stainless steel on the inside of the sifter. The outside is a full powder coated finish that's done right here. It's a ultra UV, real heavy duty Sherman-Williams powder coat that we use and have been using for many, many years. But really nice machine. So without further ado, let's take you for a walk or a stroll through our factory. You want to join me, Scott?
Yeah. Let's go.
Show them where shit's done. And also over here, which we do about one a week of the IQ Pro. So this is the assembly line. Scott runs the IQ Pro assembly line here. And then anytime because you know we obviously haven't offered the Nug Smasher OG for many, many years. But anytime we offer a lifetime warranty, so when your machines come back for warranty, if you use the heck out of them, which is a rare thing, but if they do, this is where that happens. And remember, your Nug Smasher machines always have a lifetime warranty. So let's go ahead and walk through. Over here is our accessory area. Now we do a lot of volume at one time, so these are all rosin shields you can see for the machines that are getting ready to be packed up. Behind you, you can see the Nug packers. That are all getting ready to be packed up. And this is where all the accessories really come before they head out to the shipping department. You know, these are all everything tools that are packed up. So this department is where they do all of those things. Magnet handles here, you can see are getting ready to be cleaned and put on the magnet handles and whatnot. But all of our accessories, which are, you know, literally hundreds of them, they all come out of the factory, and this is where they're packaged in this area here, and then they go out to shipping. So you have pre-pressed molds here. You can see the barrels of them and whatnot. Oops, yeah, they're beautiful, aren't they? That's all machine piece in our aerospace machine shop. You can see the other, you know, other accessories here. These are rosin shields before they're put in the box and it's done. You can see some other tools, just to give you guys a real good idea, right? Yeah, there's the torch ends so you don't burn yourself, you know. So we have all of those. That's on your big shots. But let's show them the machine shop and walk them through, show them how the parts and pieces are made. Yeah, so over here we have a aerospace quality machine shop, and in the aerospace quality machine shop, we build things like the heat plates, the small machine pieces that have to be at exact tolerance that are out of solid stock. And I'll give you an example and show you. Like this is a start of some pre-pressed molds here. You can see there's some heat plates. This is where the magnets start over here. And I'm sure these are hydraulic blocks for the IQ Pros. Over here, some of our larger volume stuff. These are mini heat plates you can see, and then these are the XP and IQ heat plates. So you can see our machine drawing for the mini heat plate to get it going. But then there's crates of those plates for the assembly line. Absolute crates of those plates for the assembly line, so you can see them all there. They all come off these CNC mills behind you.
Start out here.
Yeah, this is a
Solid
great
block. That's how they look there. Start cutting them down, and then finish up. Where's the finished ones? Right here. And finish up like that. Perfect size, everything else, all you need.
And those are for the
mini.
Yep, Nug Smasher mini
Yep.
machines.
Mini heat plates.
So you can see the quality of the machine. We really take pride in the Nug Smasher machines and every single part. Now those are the machine parts, and this is the area that happens. But over in this area over here is where the steel frame parts are cut, the aluminum frame parts are cut, all the other small parts to assemble the machines that end up over on the assembly lines to actually put these machines together. So follow me, I'll show you what those machines are about. Yep. All the Nug Smashers start out with solid steel like this, and it's all cold rolled pickled American steel. So that starts out with sheets of steel. This robotic machine handles that steel and it'll feed the steel into the fiber laser machines, which is the most accurate way to cut steel. It goes into the fiber laser machines, and then it starts to cut the parts. Now, when the parts come out, they're just a piece of flat steel, a shape. A lot of those parts need to be formed and bent, and we'll show you that process as well. So he's got a bunch of Nug Smasher parts coming off here. They just came up in that. So all of these shelves are full of different sheets of thicknesses of steel, and you can see there's one on the very back there that's just coming down, and parts are coming out of the laser. It looks like it's probably XP fronts, and then you have big fingers that come down and scoop those parts out, and they put the parts up on the actual parts shelf. So when the guys are ready to, or girls, ready to form the parts and bend them into shape, and then weld other parts to them, or bolt other machine parts to them, they're ready to go, and that's what happens. So we're constantly building an array of Nug Smasher parts so that we have that backstock inventory to meet the customer demand and need. And we have two of these machines. They're Amada fiber laser machines with robotic towers and a bunch of other stuff. But you can see how it just pulled those parts off. Are you putting those parts up on a shelf now, or? Oh, okay. So machine operators doing that now. Now this machine a lot of times will run all night long. So the guys up front will program, and the engineers will program all the parts and whatnot, and then they'll let the machine just run, and it runs and cuts all these parts all night long, and it'll keep putting sheets of steel on the machine and pulling them off. You can kind of see inside the machine he's cutting some random parts that have been cut and pulled out there. So there's 3 different beds that are constantly moving in and out of these machines, working and cutting. And like I said, yeah, they're really, really high-end, expensive machines, and the most accurate way to cut steel. So you get an exact tolerance, and you get what it does is it allows us to drive the quality of the Nug Smashers up. So, and that's we made this investment for the actual Nug Smasher parts and the customers there, based on your feedback and your demands. So this is another one of those machines. Now here in the Nug Smasher factory, after the flat parts are cut, you can see he's putting some more steel on the machine over there. They're brought over to the forming area, and in the middle here we have robots and whatnot. I can kind of show you. They're not running at this moment, but we load all the small parts in these robots, and they once again, it's computer programmed, and they form all the parts up, and then the bigger parts are handled, and this is pretty good. You'll be able to see some of our these are our funnels, how the funnels start out down here, and then they're actually bent up in all different directions. If you look at our packing funnels in this robotic machine right here, so it'll do and load all the tooling and bend those up so it's exactly the same part every time. These are heat caps that go on the back of the heat plates, which I can actually show you. This finished part over in the assembly line is pretty neat. This is a front of a Nug Smasher Mini machine, so you can see all the bends and tabs in that when it fits in the big 1/4-inch steel frame that we put them in. And then these parts are all stainless parts, so these are Nug Smasher Nug Washer parts. Nug Washer parts. This is our ice water hash machine. You can actually see the quality of all these parts, how they're bent. This is out of 090 food grade stainless steel. You can see the top covers here. Now all this sticker is just a sticker that protects the actual stainless steel that's peeled off before it's sent to the customer. These are sifting grates, and this is a whole 2 Nug Washer machines that are just sitting here in parts.
Yeah, we
and then
have one right there we're putting together right now.
So, and that's a Nug Washer right over there, if you can zoom in on that. And that's one that's fixing to go out to a customer. It's just getting finalized. Has a really great touch screen and attributes of that, and is it's quite a big machine. So all food grade. It's acid wash basin. This is that actual machine here. And this comes with a big tank, which is behind it here, that holds the different screens inside. So you have all the different microns with your wash, so you don't have to, you can use bags with it, but you don't have to. Yep. Camera speaks for itself on this, but you're able to completely program the agitation. We have many different agitation paddles for this hash machine. You could completely control that agitation to your needs. So if you've been doing it a long time by hand and you have a specific way you paddle, you could really emulate that paddle in these machines through our touchscreen. Yeah, it's really
really cool machine.
It really is.
Yeah.
Hats off to Daniel and Zach, our computer programmers, how they programmed that machine and made it work for the customers. We get constant customer feedback that we're changing there. These are backs to NugSmasher XPs. You can see they've been bent. That comes out of the robotic machine on the conveyor belt here. These are PID holders, which is actually inside the machine. So these have some welding that go on after the fact. For our NS710 PIDs that we utilize.
Some of those right now.
Okay, let's go. So after the parts and pieces are formed, a lot of them are welded together and then they're powder coated, which we do right here in the factory too. So let's look at the welding process and that process where they do all that. So good. So there's a bunch of back plates here that are being welded together, conveniently enough. So what did you say these are, Scott?
These are the mini
Okay.
for the PIDs.
So these are mini back plates. So this is the back of the machine here. And this actually holds the PID on the inside of the machine. And then in the front of the machine, you'll see two rivets. And that's what comes in and holds this actual part. So you see the whole machine is made of steel. It's very heavy duty. These are being put together here. And then you can see a bunch more there. And then they slide into the Nug Smasher mini frames, which Scott's pointing out. We have a pallet of those here. We'll show you those.
These aren't welded together yet.
As you see, he just pulled that apart. So that's, you can really see the precision of the machines there. See how Scott just pulled this apart? Go ahead and show him. See, it's like a jigsaw puzzle. So see how they're all fit together little by little. And with all these pieces, and they fit, there's that kind of precision of how they fit in there. That little tab fits in those two slots of the 1/4 inch. And that's really how the machine goes together and is all welded together. So the guys will stack up a full pallet of them, or girls, I will say girls, because T actually runs this mini assembly line, and she is a woman, and she does an amazing job of doing that, the quality control and everything else. So, and she sometimes will come over here and weld if the welders aren't doing it right for her, she'll do it herself. And she's a certified welder too, by the way, right? Yeah, so, you know, they'll fit them together like that in puzzles, which you see, the engineering of the product is the key for the repetitive accuracy of the machines. So once they're done like that, they'll be taken over to the welding tables, and then the welds will be put on them in the called for areas. And then they'll be taken from there, and okay, perfect example, and put in the powder coating booth, which is right back here. You know, and you can see there's a lot of other products here. We don't just manufacture Nug Smashers, we manufacture all kinds of stuff. We actually manufacture the world's strongest and best doors, steel doors. So we have the ability to manufacture doors that are up to 10,000 pounds and up to 20 feet tall. So great big steel doors we do. What you're seeing here is the Nug Smasher XP frames prior to them going into powder coat. Now these frames are not welded, they're bolted together, and they're made out of 1/4 inch aluminum. You can see all the bracing in the top of these frames here, and the engineering in the top and bottom of those machines, and that's how they're able to hold 12 tons of pressure inside of them without flexing. And you got her?
Yeah.
But they'll sit here, the powder coaters and the coatings will clean everything off of them. They'll be put in the spray booth that's inside there, and then they come over and they're baked at 400 degrees in the ovens. And these are parts and pieces to the Nug Smasher XP that are coming out of powder coat now. You can kind of see what those look like. This actually holds a hydraulic unit in the inside of the Nug Smasher XPs. All those parts are powder coated and they come through. And this is something neat too. These are actually spring plates on the Nug Smasher XPs. And how the guys make those is they actually make them in a line, so they just break off just like that. So pretty neat, huh? See that? They break off. But we're able to make all of them together like that, and then before they go to the assembly line, they're broken apart. They're able to be powder coated, and it gets in all the seams and everything else. And they have little tabs. So there's a tremendous amount of engineering and thought that goes into every single part prior to us putting them together.
Yeah.
Prior to them
Really
getting to
is.
you, right?
Yeah,
so
it really is.
you know, so we don't just put things together here, which a lot of manufacturers call building things. We actually design it. We hold all the intellectual property and the patents to the Nug Smasher parts and all the machines, and we actually put them all together here as well on each of the assembly lines.
Upgrading stuff too.
Constantly.
PIDs, everything else.
And how do we do that? Do we do that from customer feedback? From
Oh yeah, customer feedback plus our computer guys and everything. They come up with ideas to make the process easier for the customer.
And we're constantly,
plug
so
it in.
we do listen to your comments constantly. There's lots of them, we know, but we listen to your comments and feedback, and we're constantly incorporating those. We actually have a whole process for that internally. We're constantly incorporating to those with the engineers that design the machines and the parts, and implementing them into the actual real parts. So after all the parts are powder coated, they go over to the assembly lines where we started out, and we'll take a walk back through there. We didn't tell them, but we'll save the camera time of walking all the way over there. We have all the electronics and circuitry and soldering and wiring harnesses happen over there in that department. It's all the way at the end. We even make our own labeling here, and that happens all the way over at the far end of the building here. It's, our facility here is 122,000 square feet, where we build all these parts and pieces of the Nug Smasher, and have for the last 6 years. So when you're calling us or chatting with us, this is where it's happening. It's not some sub office or some people in India that are taking your call or information. It's actually us right here. So we have the ability to really move the world and help our customers out, and that's what we really like. And as you see, we have a lot more control over all of the products and pieces than you see in most factories, and we do that strictly for customer service. Would you agree?
Most definitely, yeah.
So we're able to, really effectuate good change for the customers. Before we go over to the assembly line, I'll show you some of your IQ parts here.
IQ parts.
So you can see some of the IQ parts before they go into the machine. Those are cut out of stainless steel. Of course, the sticker's peeled off. The sticker is just on the outside of there to protect the outside. So those are peeled off on Scott's assembly line right before they're put in the packaging. So you can see a lot of those different parts for the IQs are here. And then there's some backs over there. If we can walk around here, we'll show them these too. Yeah, those are the insides. Here's the top. See, it has the IQ logo on it. You can see this is the back of the plate where it has the shroud, the cut shroud with the IQ, that's the fan shroud. So the fan's behind that to cool the actual heat plates down for you. Inside the IQ, these are side paneling. You can see how those are hemmed. So we actually hem and then bend these little tabs on there to slide right in. So it's just a real precision fit. The whole machine is a lot of precision. And then these are the backs, right, Scott?
That's the tops.
The tops, okay.
Yeah.
So that's the inside of the top, in the back of the machine.
Yeah.
So you can see how the hem and all the bends are. I mean, really, really quality stuff. We're very proud of the parts and pieces and the machines that we make here at Nug Smasher. Even inside of it, this is what holds the fan that pulls through the shroud. It's a made piece. So now, again, that starts over on our fiber laser out of flat pieces of steel, and it's bent and formed to perfection.
Don't know inside the IQ is also another fan that cools the computer components inside of it.
Excellent,
So
excellent.
you don't
Yes.
get to see that one, but there is another fan inside. It has two
And
fans.
we have a stainless steel plate that holds that.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that fan is just on the computer chips, right? So that you get
Keep it cool.
longevity out of everything and the relays and everything else to keep them
sir.
to temperature.
Yeah.
So if you are operating in a warmer environment, it helps out. But you know, hopefully you're doing all your extractions in a cold environment, because that's obviously where you're going to get the best results. But you guys know that. Let's go over and have a look at the assembly lines real quick, and we'll conclude our video here. Guys, I can't thank you enough for subscribing. Tell a friend, watching the channel here, and you know, on our YouTube and Instagram and Facebook. We appreciate our customers more than you know. We couldn't do any of this without you, so we love you guys. From the bottom of my heart, I love you guys, and we appreciate you. Everybody here in the factory are full-time employees that work on making your products better each and every day. So nothing here from China. Is there anything here from China? No China stuff. So, which isn't a bad thing, but you know. There's another pallet of frames here, Scott, that look like these are all welded up, right?
No, sir. These are not welded.
Oh, these
up
aren't
yet.
either.
These are all just been built. They're ready
These
to
are
go
going
to
too.
welding.
Got it.
Yeah.
So
That's
you can
how
see.
many of these we're putting out.
You can see this is the Nug Smasher mini line. You know, when everybody comes back from lunch, they'll get on this, and these things will be all through and then packaged. We can take a walk down this line.
Down there, ready to go.
You can see there's pieces of components of these. There's European machines, which is our 220 volts. We make a European machine, a 220 volt machine, and well, I shouldn't say European. We make a 220 volt machine, and then we make a 110 machine. 90% of what we sell are 110 machines, but the 220s will have a big node on them, so we can keep those separate. And then all the parts and pieces, you remember the little flat piece I showed you for the robot? This is actually what it looks like at the end. Pretty neat. And this is, you'll notice from this tab, this is a powder coat tab that's just there for powder coating. They actually break that tab off and put bolts on it, put it in here, and that's what goes on the back of the actual heat plates of the machine, which are right here. So you can kind of see that. These are still being built, but as the machines come further and further down the line, you can see there's more and more progress on the machines, all the way around to the actual final machines, and then they'll come through quality control over here and actually be packaged. You can see the boxes stacked up here. These are packaged machines here. Yep. So you can see, you know, there's a sticker pack and then plate temp stickers, right? And then underneath here, maybe you can help me with this, Scott. Underneath there is the actual machine. And that's how you'll get your Nug Smasher Mini. The handle is inside the box.
That's the cord.
Oh, that's the cord.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
The
handle's up here on the top, and then the cord's inside the box. And then they're actually put from this white box in another double layer exterior box to make them even stronger. You can see this one's getting ready. So this is a refurbished unit that's getting ready to go out. It says refurbished on it. We do have a few refurbished units. About as soon as we get those, we send them right back out. So if you see those available on the website, jump on them, because they don't last long at all. The disadvantage of the refurbished units is we do not put a lifetime warranty on them. We put a 30-day warranty, and they're not eligible for the upgrade program. So by buying a new unit, you have a lifetime warranty, and then you're eligible for our upgrade program, which we give our customers 80% of the current value back towards an upgraded unit. So it's really a great investment there. Mini line, and then you can see over here, these are XPs. So the XPs, same thing. They're coming through the line too. All the parts and pieces for them. And then back over to the IQs and the Sifters and where we started. And I think, for the most part, that's going to conclude our video for today. Again, you guys, thanks so much. Tell a friend. Please like the video, subscribe, share the comments. We'd love to show everybody our wonderful manufacturing facility for Nug Smashers. And Scott, thank you for the participation in the video.
No
we
worries.
appreciate
Thank
you so
very
much.
Yeah.
And till next time, guys.